I don't know if you remember these or not. Probably not. But it's okay. Because I sure do. Hey, what's good guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look at these upcoming bad boys right here. Man, these are pretty. These are so pretty. Man, these are dope. But this is the Air Jordan 1 OG High in the CO.JP. It was a Japan exclusive back in the day, back in 01. But anyways, real quick though, the box, OG style box, but they did it up in a new color for this shoe specifically. So we got the silver thing on there. I believe that this box was also for the other pair that was the gray ones, the gray and metallic silvers, which I believe were also a Japan exclusive way back in the day. I can't remember exactly because 2001 era retros, I was fresh out of high school, super broke, living in a truck in the back of it. So technically I was kind of homeless. But inside here we got really cool paper because it says 2001 Jumpman 2020. So it's a nice little nod to the original. And these are going to be releasing, I believe, on your birthday?
Ooh.
Or no, I'm wrong. Sorry, these release on the 14th.
Ow, fork me.
Sorry. But yeah, these guys right here are amazing. Not quality wise, I'm just saying the look. The look is amazing. Quality wise is good though. So again, like I was saying, way back in the day, 2001, that's when we got our first retros. Technically wasn't the first because 1993/1994, the time frame when Jordan retired the first time, we did see retros for the first time and nobody wanted them. They dropped the 1s, the 2s, and the 3s. Nobody wanted them. Fast forward to my high school days and retros were a thing again. It was their second time around trying out the retro thing. This time around it stuck. Thank God, because we'd have no Jordan brand if that was, you know what I mean? If that was the case. So the brand has always been built on two things. First thing, pinnacle of performance. Second thing, nostalgia, AKA the brand's lineage. What a way to do it, man. And again, these originally released, which a lot of people don't remember, as mids. The black and red, the black and royal, which I had. That was my very first eBay purchase ever. I got them for $70.
You were super proud of those.
Oh, I was. They were on my shelf. I have been infatuated with the Jordan 1 since forever.
The first time we hung out, that was the shoe you introduced me to. And
Well,
it was like introducing me to your grandma or something. Like
I introduced her to two pairs. Okay?
But that's the one I remember.
I was living in my parents' house at the time and it was a garage converted into a room or whatever, and there was this weird like built-in. So there were shelves. I had two shelves, one on each side of the window, and one side was the black and red, or not the black and red, the black and royal Air Jordan 1. And on the other side was my Concord retro. And I was like, hey, sneakers meet Jody, Jody meets sneakers. But anyways, back then, the shoes, they were just all mids. They just were. Nobody complained. Nobody been like, no, man, mids are ass. None of that. We were happy to see the 1s. That's all it was. You know, we were super happy. And then in Japan, the 1s and the dunks never went out of style. It was a thing. Like, they've always been into retro shit. So they ended up getting these and those silver joints that recently re-released. These, I just remember seeing them for the first time and being like, man, those are pretty, man. And we just couldn't get them unless you knew somebody that knew somebody or you were on eBay. Because I believe my black and royals came from Canada. Hey. And so these guys right here are back for the very first time. They're back in OG form, so they're high now. I believe the original had a Jumpman on the back too. I cannot remember for sure. I'm just pretty sure. Now, as far as these guys are concerned, they are an Air Jordan 1 high, so they're built just like the originals minus one thing, and that's this guy right here. I don't like it. I think this is the way that the originals were, but they had a Jumpman on there. But I don't like the non-nylon tongues on a Jordan 1. I feel like the Jordan 1 needs nylon tongues. The nylon tongue needs the Air Jordan 1. They just go so well together. But again, these guys do have the branding, so that's on there. That's cool. I do wish it was a tab if I'm gonna nitpick. These are not mine, by the way, so I'm not gonna do it on feet, but they're an Air Jordan 1, so go with your regular Air Jordan 1 size. I normally go true to size. If I need to, I go down half a size, but that's usually because that's all they got left. And then on the back right there, they have this nice little patch. A lot of you older heads that are in my generation probably remember that. This one says 2001 to 2020, so that's just marking the year that these released, as well as the original version of it, which was again 2001. Back in the day though, that patch right there had the number, the quantity of the amount that they had. So it had your number pair plus how many were in existence. They do come with extra laces though, for those of you guys curious. They come with flat white laces. The ones that are in the shoe are an oval navy lace. I really do like the way that the oval ones look on here because that's the way that I remember them. Same with the silver ones. They had the different laces. They did the same thing with like the newer colorways. The Jordan 4, the ones without the netting, they were like the first pure monies, but they were called like the blings back then. They had the oval laces. The white with the metallic navy and UNC hits had the oval laces. Those were one of the first remastered. I still have I love that shoe. They would tweak things a little bit, and I thought it was really cool because it was a visual representation of this is new, even though it's old. And then when they would put out what was old, new again, like an actual OG colorway, they just kind of kept everything the same. And it was really dope back then. I really do miss those times in Jordan Brand's existence or history or whatever, because it was so fresh at the time. Like Trunners were a real thing. She still don't like it, but like, I'm just like, nah, man, back in the day, dude, like Trunners, we were all like, yeah, man, I want to be Randy Moss. I want to be a super freak. Now, as far as tech specs are concerned on the Air Jordan 1, just in case you have not been here before, and if not, welcome. But we have some of the best traction of all time. So good, it'll pop your hip out, trust me, I know. And then we got a rubber cup sole right here. Inside of that cup sole is an EVA wedge. It's about from the midfoot all the way to the heel, and encapsulated in that is an air sole unit. Can you feel it? No, you can't. Why? It's encapsulated in rubber, of all things. It ain't going nowhere. It sure does look cool. Now, the upper on these guys has two different types of material. We have leather and nubuck, and I just fucking love it, man. I love these. These are so money. Now, as far as the quality of the material, the nubuck is just okay. It reminds me of what they used to use back then. I actually think that that's really interesting because a lot of the manufacturers back in the day, they're not around anymore. So it's really hard to really replicate something that used to be when it is no more. So they're doing their best. Sometimes it works in their favor, this time being one of them. Sometimes it doesn't, like my Air Jordan 4 Fire Red that's all fucking mangled. The leather itself though, very nice. Not premium, but it's very nice nonetheless. It's got a little tumbled look to it, just like the original version did have. Got this metallic swoosh on there, so pretty. And then one of my favorite parts was the Wings logo right here. It's a jeweled version. This thing didn't last very long. If you see an original pair, either they're fogged, they're cracked, or they're missing because they got foggy and cracked and then fell out. But they sure look dope. I remember the first time I saw that instead of the stamped one, and I was like, what the f? Like, that's sick. You know, I'm noticing right now, the Nike, it's very sloppy.
I was gonna say that I actually like how this logo is versus how I usually see it on the back where it's stacked, because I always feel like no matter what they do, it looks off to me. This looks much more evenly placed.
It does. It's just in today's digital stitching or digital embroidery, like look at the Air. There's no stitching in between any of those letters.
Yeah, the Nike, the N, the I, and the K, they all run together.
Yeah, it's like I was just scribbling real quick, you know, and I'm just kind of surprised by that. Like I said, today's manufacturing is like, especially stitching and embroidery in particular, it's so nice now where I'm like, what the what happened? Was that machine high? Maybe.
You kind of already answered my random question that I came up with back there. So you said in Japan, like the ones and the dunks have never gone out of style. So I guess that's why Japan always gets special colorways, because I feel like I never hear, this is an Australian colorway release. This is for the Netherlands. Like, you know, there's never...
Yeah, well, I don't know about like all cultures, but I just know like growing up, you'd have certain things where you'd hear things, right? So like people in the UK, they call sneakers trainers, and their trainers are usually runners. That's what the style that they like. So today, things are starting to shift. It's still really slow, but today you'd go in and you'd see more Jordan products. But back then, if there was a Jordan product on the floor, it wouldn't really move, you know? Like you'd have your occasional hoopers, which end up growing up to be a dark or whatever, and they end up in the NBA and stuff. But like, for the most part though, most of those people stick with trainers. They stick with what they know, that style. Japan's always been a little more out there. Same with like some people in China, where I don't want to call them trendy because they've been more so fashion forward. Like they've been wearing retro style stuff for the longest, and they just like that style. And that's how I feel, where I'm very much drawn to the time frame that I was born in. Something about the 80s, I'm just like, the 80s was so awesome, you know? And so like stuff like this and an Air Jordan 4, like they're both from that time frame. Granted, the 4 borderline 90s style, but that's why the 2 of the models I'm infatuated with. Like not even drawn, I'm literally infatuated with these 2 shoes. And so this really represents, I think, the best time frame in the 80s, where it's like this was at that moment the pinnacle. Flight suits, matching jumpsuits, bucket hats, just all of that. Dope. Fast forward a few years when things start to really transition into the future of flight, which was in Air Flight 89, Force models, so like the big man shoe, the Air Jordan 4. Those shoes have always kind of been like hot over there. And here, it's always been about what's new. Again, when retros were first a thing in 94, everybody's like, man, we don't want this. We want the new Jordan. And same thing when I was in high school, when they came back with like stuff like this, a lot of people were like, we don't want this. We want the new Jordan. Guess what the new Jordan was? The 15s. And a lot of people pretend like those are ugly. Those are not ugly, those are beautiful, okay? No, they're beautiful. And yeah, but I like both. I liked the new Jordan, but I've always loved the originals. So it was just one of those things where it's just like a contrast in culture. Now that we have the internet and Instagram and all of that stuff, all culture's the same now. What they're wearing over there is what we're wearing over here and vice versa. And there is no uniqueness out there anymore. You know what I mean? Like everybody's trying to be unique by looking exactly the same. Remember when these came out? You bought me these in low top form with a black swoosh. That was as close as I got to this. This is as close as I've gotten to. These not even mine. I love the Air Jordan 1, and she got me the low. Nobody was fucking with lows. Still don't. Yeah, it's just a weird thing.
All right.
But anyways, these guys right here retail for $170. They'll be available on, I think, the 14th.
November 14th. That makes sense.
I'm
That's a
remembering.
Saturday.
Okay, so yeah, you know, good luck to everybody trying to get a pair. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. Let me know what you think about these down below in the comment section. If you're my age or around my age and you remember the originals, let me know what you think about them in comparison to these. I think they're both great.
It's a pretty shoe.
Oh, they're gorgeous. These are gorgeous. I love this stuff, especially these blue ones, man. Anyways, I'm gonna get going. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support. So until next time, guys, have a good one.